Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to hopefully the first of many Resistance to Speedrun tutorials. Throughout this series of tutorials I'm going to show you how to do some Resistance to speedrunning strategies that I myself and several other people in the YouTube community have contributed to. So the first skip actually has quite a good backstory. I just wanted to play through the game quite recently actually, and about 2 minutes into this first level here I actually found a skip that contributes greatly to a speedrun. So in this first level, after Major Blake gives you your Magnum, we're just gonna run up here and then we will set up this first glitch. Now this first glitch or skip happens to be right here. What we want to do is we want to get beyond this barbed wire fence here, and it's actually pretty easy to do so. Now there are a few ways that you can go about doing this. This rock ledge right here is what we need, and we actually need to land like right I'd say in between this rock ledge and the fence in order to get pushed through it. So now you can do this from several different ways. I believe there's three. You can run at it straight and jump into the fence, or you can press up against the fence and run and jump into the little crevice right there, or you can line up diagonally like this and run and jump into the fence as well. I usually use the diagonal method, so what I do is, let's see here, you just want to line up, right where the fence meets the rocks here, back up till you're in the trees, and then we're going to run, and as soon as we hit the rocks and we start ascending, we're going to want to jump, and we're going to keep running forward the entire time until we get through the fence. As you can see, that forced me out. That's kind of good that I failed it the first time, just so that I can show you what will happen if you fail it. And usually if you fail it, it'll just push you back out. And then all you have to do really is just line up again and just give it another try. Being stingy today. Now, that's another problem as well, is you can actually just keep running and jumping in, but sometimes the jump just won't work. Now as you can see, that one worked, and all I did was look at the fence, and I just kept running and jumping into it until I finally got in there. Now after you jump, it is crucial that you just keep running forward. Now that will actually allow you to get pushed through the fence by the rocks. So as you can see, we are now on the other side of the fence, and you can use any of those other ways that I showed you. I'm only going to show you the one that I use, but it might take you a little while to get the hang of it, but that's okay. Like, even for me, it still gives me some trouble sometimes, so that's fine. Now once you're out of bounds here, what we're going to do is we're going to run under these pipes. And there's a solid fence here, but we can just run right around that. Now we're just gonna go by this like huge water tank, I believe it is, and down here. Now this is actually a later part of the level right here, and as you can see, all that's loaded down here are some gates that only Major Blake can open. But what we're gonna do is we're actually going to skip the majority of that and a cutscene involving the final boss escaping. The final boss cutscene is somewhere in here, as you can see, these beams, these laser beams or whatever that keep the final boss captured. So the final boss is like somewhere right there, but he's not loaded. But we're going to ignore that, and what we want to do is we actually want to land on this loaded radio right here, and then we're going to jump into a checkpoint trigger right around here, right by these carbines, so right to the left of these carbines. So using this little wee patch of loaded ground here, we'll take a running jump and land on the radio. Okay, we've successfully landed on the radio at least. Sometimes it can be a little tricky And if you fall, you're gonna have to wait to die. It'll take quite a bit of time, so you might want to be careful around this part. So now what we want to do is take a running jump into the checkpoint trigger, which is around right over here, right to the left of these things. So I'm just gonna back up just a little bit. Don't want to fall off though. So I think that's good. And then we're gonna run and jump right around here. The checkpoint trigger is actually pretty big, so you shouldn't miss it if you're jumping in the right spot. As you can see in the bottom left, I did hit the checkpoint. Now, seeing as we're falling, there's actually no faster way to kill ourselves to reset the level. So what we're gonna have to do is wait until our meter count right here reaches around 1,000. And then we'll die and reset the level. And voila, we are much further into the level.